Now, as K2 reporter Christina Giardinelli, who was at Wednesday's news conference with county leaders, she's also been following how the counties are preparing for deflection programs. Thanks for being here, Christina. What'd you learn in your research?
Yeah, so I got records for 28 counties that they sent for their applications for these deflection programs to this state. And what I found in looking at these applications is Multnomah's is the most lenient statewide. So it's the only county that has both unlimited attempts at deflection, so avoiding charges by seeking treatment, and then also doesn't charge anybody if they fail to essentially complete that deflection. So the only way someone here in Multnomah County is going to get charged is if they get caught with drugs twice in a 30-day period.
What are some of the other counties doing to address this addiction crisis?
Yeah, so most of the other counties, all but two actually, Multnomah County and Josephine County, are holding charges in abeyance. Now what that means is they're going to pause charges and give people a chance to go through those deflection steps, those treatment steps. If they don't, complete that, they're going to see charges. Those charges will get forwarded to the DA, and a warrant will be issued for their arrest. You
mentioned DA. Multnomah County will have a new district attorney next year. You spoke with Nathan Vasquez earlier. What is he saying about the deflection program as it stands right now?
Steve, you've seen his campaign, right? He's always presented this as being he's going to be more tough on crime. So obviously he's not happy with Multnomah County, like I said, being one of the more lenient programs here. And he's vowed to change that when she takes office in January. But it's going to be interesting to see how he does that, because these applications are approved by the state, and the state does have to go back and review any changes.
A lot of folks are just curious about the deflection program as a whole. How many hours will it actually be open?
Yeah, so that deflection center, right, that drop-off center that's going to be here nearby, the county has said that it's going to be operational by September 1st, but they don't know yet what the hours are going to be. They're still working with a nonprofit to figure that out, and it doesn't really sound like it's going to be 24/7 by September 1st, but they say that's the ultimate goal.
You learned something interesting last week about the arrest process for the people that police catch with small amounts of drugs on them. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so I talked to Portland Police Chief Bob Day. Basically because the Portland Police Association, so their union, did have some concerns about the transport, so officers taking people to this deflection center once they get arrested. The officer, once the person catches the person with drugs, they give them the option. Do you want to go to the deflection center, or do you want to face this misdemeanor drug possession charge, which could mean jail time? So if the person then decides to go to the deflection center, the officer's responsible for taking them there. And the concern was, what happens during that transportation, because the officer is not issuing a citation according to how they've structured this program. The concern is, what if the person overdoses while they're in that patrol vehicle? So I asked the chief some of these questions. What legal authority does the officer have to take the person since they're not issuing a citation? His response was interesting. He says basically they're going to be arresting the person, putting them in handcuffs, taking them in the car, taking them to this deflection center, and then he said these actual words, unarresting the person and letting them go to the deflection center. Pretty unique, right? Someone gets a DUI, oftentimes they will get released, but they're going to have a citation. In this case, they're not.
I understand county leaders will be reviewing the data every 30 days. Does that mean there will be constant changes to this deflection program?
They'll be reviewing it to see, what's working, what's not working. But like I mentioned earlier, the state does review these applications. They're going to give, each county funding for the deflection program. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not some of these changes will actually go through. They do have to get approved by the state.
Christina, thanks for being with us. You got a lot of stuff to go through there.
Yes. Thanks,
Appreciate
Steve.
your time.